Why our space program? Why indeed? Did we trouble to look past the next mountain? Our prime obligation to ourselves is to make the unknown known. We are on a journey to keep an appointment with whatever we are.
The Interplanetary Podcast. The exploration of space for the benefit of all mankind. Your hosts here in London, Matthew Russell and Jamie Franklin.
Gene Roddenberry of Star Trek.
I always thought that Roddenberry would be a really lovely Scandinavian preserve.
Yeah.
That you would slather all over a bit of bread, you know?
Loretta's got an allotment and we're growing boysenberries.
Steady on, Gwyneth.
Yeah. No, you can't hoist me by my own petard there.
Sorry, Matt. Sorry.
What are we going to talk about this week?
Songs about space.
Yeah, because we had a couple of good ones last week, didn't we? The Rush Countdown and Hello Earth by Kate Bush.
Got us thinking, didn't it?
What other ace songs are there about space?
Yeah.
Do you want to go first?
I think you should go first.
I'm going to go first with a really obvious one, but it's got to be the most influential one. And that's The Planets by Holst, by British composer Holst, Gustav Holst.
Beautiful.
So you've got Mars, Venus, Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune.
Right.
But what's missing other than Earth?
Right, say them again.
I'm not saying them again.
Say it again.
Mars, Venus, Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. Which one's missing?
What's missing?
They were all written in 1914 to 1916, all these bits, right? Pluto wasn't discovered until 1930.
I was about to say Pluto.
Oh, well, you should have said it.
Well, Matt, is it a planet?
Oh, well,
no,
I mean,
let's not start this.
It was a planet. It was a planet, and Holst was still alive, but
it still is in my heart.
Yeah, he was still alive, but refused to write a new movement because he'd become disillusioned by the popularity of his planets. So it took another English composer, Colin Matthews, to write Pluto in 2000, only then to have it dashed away from him. Because Pluto was demoted. So how annoying is that? But
really annoying.
Also, Simon Rattle conducted the Berlin Philharmonic and commissioned 4 pieces by 4 very good composers, one of which is Mark Anthony Turnage, one of my absolute favourites. And he wrote they wrote about the major asteroids in the solar system. So Turnage wrote about Ceres, and it's absolutely brilliant. But there's 4 others: asteroid 4179, Osiris, and Komarov's Fall, whatever that is.
Well,
amazing,
I've got one for you, Matt. Mm-hmm. Radiohead, off their excellent and very underrated Hail to the Thief album, Sail to the Moon, which was the 3rd track, a lovely piano-like lullaby ballad, was written for Tom York's then infant son, Noah.
Nice.
What do you think about that? It says, maybe you'll be president, but know right from wrong, or in the flood, you'll build an ark and sail us to the moon.
Oh. Is there a little reference to Bagpuss there?
Well, there's a reference to Noah's Ark, surely.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah, and his son's Noah. Oh,
there you go.
My next one is is 39 by Queen. Couldn't not have a Queen reference, could we? But it's quite good. Remember that scene in Interstellar where they go down to the planet and then come back and the guy's aged?
Yeah.
That's essentially the theme of the year of 39, where a bunch of brave souls go off in a spaceship, only to return to find that everyone's aged or died. So there we go, because of the time dilation effects of Einstein's special relativity. There we go.
Yeah, this is true. Matt, we both picked the Galaxy Song by Monty Python.
Oh, yes.
We, again, couldn't not have that. I mean, how good are the lyrics?
The lyrics are amazing, and do you know what? They're surprisingly accurate, and there's been times where people have said, oh, that's not accurate. He's changed the lyrics, and then had to change them back to the original lyrics when they find out that he's got it bang on. And there's been a couple of recent versions. So in 2014, Eric Idle did it again, and near the end, Brian Cox sort of starts saying how inaccurate it is, and then Stephen Hawkins comes in and knocks him over in his motorised chair. and then Hawkins does the cover of the song for a Record Day single, and then it's re-recorded again with updated lyrics. So the galaxy containing 500 billion stars instead of 100 billion. The galaxy rotation speed of 500,000 miles per hour instead of 40,000.
Yeah.
And the galaxy thickness is 6,000 light years instead of 16. And the spiral arm thickness of 1,000 light years instead of 3,000. So he didn't do too bad a job. So there's a few corrections in there. But as a...
You'd forgive that.
Yeah, I mean, as a kind of song that you can sing to yourself and realise just how ridiculous space is and that you don't mind giving up a kidney...
is brilliant.
Is amazing, isn't it?
Matt, let me read you the last 4 lines. So remember, when you're feeling very small and insecure, how amazingly unlikely is your birth, and pray that there's intelligent life somewhere out in space, because there's bugger all down here on Earth.
Genius line. Eric Idle, what an absolute legend.
Incredible.
Oh, do you know, I met Eric Idle just outside your office a few years ago, and I actually got a little bit nervous. I don't normally get nervous in front of pop stars, but Eric Idle was something else. It's like, oh my God, it's Eric Idle.
Why didn't he pop in and see me if he was near me?
Because he didn't need he didn't need any tonal shaping.
Understood. Understood. So what else did you get, Matt?
Well, I think I don't think it's right to go through and not mention Richard Strauss's Also sprach Zarathustra.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, I can't really say it.
Amazing.
Which, of course, is made famous by the initial fanfare titled Sunrise, which is used in the 1968 film 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Aha.
But there's a couple of other songs in that little in Space Odyssey, of course, like Johann Strauss's Blue Danube, which of course goes brilliantly well with the way when they're walking around the space station and things like that, and that's like a main theme throughout. But there's also some beautiful Ligeti pieces right all the way through it, all the kind of more sci-fi.
Isn't Blue Danube also a cheese?
It is, and it's also how I tune drums. So that so the toms make the do 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 do, and you can that's a good way of tuning drums. Yeah, wow. There you go. Yeah,
listen up, all you drummers.
What's your choice? What's your next choice, Jamie?
I'm going to go with Deep Purple, Space Truckin'.
It's a good choice.
Yeah, I mean it's one of our favourite bands, isn't it, Matt?
Oh man. In fact, I had the joy of seeing them, didn't I, quite recently, thanks to you.
Yeah, you did.
And Ian Pace. Oh, nice.
And lovely Ian Pace. I mean, we've had a lot of luck on Venus. We've always had a ball on Mars. Meeting all the groovy people. We've rocked the Milky Way so far. I mean, what's not to love?
What's not to love about that?
What's not to love? Although the difference is, Matt, I've got a feeling that they were being serious.
What's
That's
funny
the difference.
I tell you what, if you want to ruin your voice, go off and sing that for a few concerts in a row. Space Trucking is ludicrous.
It's quite a few high notes.
My next choice, Jamie, is a song that I know both of us really, really love. Even though, really, the subject matter is a little bit ridiculous. But a song called Concerning the UFO Sighting Near Highland by Sufjan Stevens.
One of the greatest records and songs.
It is an amazing record. And that's the opening track of Illinois. And wow, it's about a UFO sighting. There's quite a famous one where quite a few people saw a triangle the size of a football field flying around over Lake Forest in Illinois, which is a suburb of Chicago. And some of the witnesses said it was bigger than a Boeing 747. So this is like a big old thing. But I'm sure, as we all know, it's never aliens.
Of course it's not, Or is it?
All right, Jamie.
Ooh.
Even though we've got a list here of about 30 songs,
We've got loads.
Let's just choose one more each.
All right, well, I'm going to go with this, Matt. What do you think this is from? For here am I sitting in a tin can, far above the world. Planet Earth is blue, and there's nothing I can do.
Well, it's the mighty David Bowie and Space Oddity.
He's sitting in a tin can, far above the world. Oh, he's my hero of all time. The greatest to ever live.
Apologies for when the podcast came out a day late last week, because Jamie and I went to a David Bowie tribute gig, didn't we? And watched quite a few of those songs. So there was things like Starman, of course, Life on Mars. Did they do? Yeah, they did do Hello Space Boy, didn't they?
They also did Hello Space Boy. Not our favourite era, but still up there. Dancing Out in Space they didn't do, but that was a great track, a late great track.
What about Born in a UFO?
They don't think they played that.
And they definitely didn't take I Took a Trip on a Gemini Spacecraft.
I love how obsessed he was with space.
Brilliant. Yeah, really, David Bowie is the space aficionado songwriter, isn't he? Yeah, he is the space. And we're not even mentioning some of the great tracks that are off The Man Who Fell to Earth.
Oh, don't get me started, Matt. Or we'll be here for a long time.
I don't know what to choose next, but I think I'm going to have to go with Brian Eno's Deep Blue Day as an amazing space track. That is off his album Apollo, which I think is Apollo's soundscapes that were actually written for a film called All Mankind, directed by Al Reinert. And it's absolutely brilliant. And all of the songs on that album have kind of got like a country music vibe to them. And this is what Brian Eno said. He said, Apollo, I thought it was very appropriate to have a country music vibe because it's very much like space music. It has all the connotations of pioneering of the American myth of the brave individual.
Wow.
I mean, and they're
beautiful.
So they're both spacey and country kind of. They've got that country and western vibe to them because all of the Apollo astronauts, of course, were cowboys, essentially.
Hey, Matt, do you know what's weird? Is that 5 minutes down the road from where I am? I'm in Berlin, everybody, at the moment, just hanging out.
Well, just international podcasting.
That's just what we do. And 5 minutes down the road from where I am currently is Hansa Studios. And for those that know, that's where David Bowie and Brian Eno were doing Heroes quite a while ago. Well, they did 3 records there. But that's where they wrote Heroes.
Well, and your current office in the middle of Wandsworth is literally on the site where he recorded the video for Ashes to Ashes. There's quite a few Bowie connections.
I didn't know that. Amazing.
Yeah. That big TV studio is where they did Ashes to Ashes.
No way. Genius.
Way.
I've got a very funny story about that, but it's a bit rude for the podcast. Maybe I'll ask you if I can tell it.
Go on then.
Next week.
Okay. If you want to hear Jamie's rude podcast.
If you want to hear my rude Ashes to Ashes story.
Maybe become a Patreon at the
the upper level. That's how you unlock it. Everyone that donates £5 a month will get my handwritten, very rude David Bowie Ashes to Ashes story.
Excellent.
There we go. We're stooping low.
Oh, that is stoop low. But anyway, so there's a whole. Oh man, there's so many more, isn't there? There's just.
Are we going to do a playlist?
Yeah, so I'm going to. I've done a playlist, and I put that in the link to the podcast. But there's about 20 other songs, and if any of you listeners out there have like a really favourite space song, like Rocket Man by Elton John, or the superior William Shatner version, just let us know. But yeah,
absolutely. I bet there's going to be loads. Let us know what you got.
I just didn't realise how many there were. There's so many good ones.
What's nice about that, Matt, is it means that, lots of people are looking up and it's inspiring them to write great music.
It is. And actually, they are great. It is great music. This is a brilliant playlist. I'm actually going to play it quite a lot. It's downloaded on my phone.
Yeah, there's not many duds on here.
There's definitely no duds on there. I mean, I tell you what track I do love that I never heard before, and that's Space Junk by Devo. That's a tune. And it's like, it's all about space junk coming down and hitting his girlfriend. It's really good. It's 1968.
I'm going to listen to that after this.
Writing about space junk. That's pretty cool, isn't it?
Love it.
Yeah, it's a great tune. Right. What's been going on in the world of space? Well, we can't go on.
To talk
we have
about
to mention Zuma, don't we? Zuma is just absolutely hilarious. I saw a brilliant tweet, and I think it's my favourite tweet, where this bloke called Hero Spike Rebuild. He wrote a tweet that says, "I wrote up a 4-page article with everything that we know about Zuma mission, and the picture is 4 blank sheets of A4."
It's so good.
That is
it's so good.
But it's
Matt, for those that don't know or weren't listening last week, can you just give a short roundup about what happened?
Well, here we go. This is all we know really so far, is that SpaceX launched Zuma. Now, Zuma apparently is a multi-billion-dollar satellite. Multi-billion, for crying out loud.
Wow.
And it went up, and SpaceX said, yep, our rocket has performed nominally, which means, it's perfect. And rumours started flying around because apparently there were some people, journalists at Bloomberg and the Wall Street Journal, had reported that lawmakers had been briefed on Zuma's demise, which was a bit shocking, because there's a few things that don't add up here. Because Gwynne Shotwell came out and said this: for clarity, after review of all data to date, Falcon 9 did everything correctly on Sunday night. Information published that is contrary to this statement is categorically false. Now, you don't see statements like that every day.
Yeah.
So that is pretty amazing. Now, there is one thing that could have happened, and that's that Northrop Grumman, who built the satellite, they also built the payload adapter, which is the thing that basically releases the satellite off the rocket. Now, that's unusual. It's normally SpaceX that build it. So it could have been that failed, and the satellite dragged back down into Earth when SpaceX returned the final stage back to Earth to be destroyed. However, that seems really odd, because surely if it hadn't detached, they would sort of fly the thing around until they'd exhausted all options. I would have thought. I mean, I just don't know. And also, Space Track had catalogued the Zuma payload, USA 280, as going round and doing at least one orbit. So that adds an extra layer of weirdness to it. And since then, no one has confirmed that Zuma has failed. Literally, the Pentagon won't say whether it's failed or not, and they say
this is the weird thing. Why wouldn't they just come out and say it's failed, and that was it? It's a real shame. Wouldn't have to kind of say exactly.
Wouldn't
what
have
it
to
was
say anything else
if it was sensitive.
No. The actual reality.
Matt, if you were a betting man, what do you think it was?
What do I think the satellite was?
Yeah.
Oh, what do I think Zuma was? Do you know what? I have absolutely no idea. It really is a blank piece of paper.
Isn't it?
It could have been a space plane. It could have been anything. And what's really bizarre is, can you imagine that the British government, for example, paying a few $1 billion on something? And imagine like they said, right, we're opening a new massive train station, and then spending a couple of £1 billion on this new train station, and as it was finished, it just collapsed, and everyone's saying, well, what's happening here? Oh, nothing. No, nothing to see here.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just mental, isn't it? I mean, this is a lot of public money, and I'm thinking, surely someone's going to have to go and say something. It's just crazy.
Do you know what's even weirder, Matt? Mm-hmm. When I was researching this story, I typed in Zuma in Google and pressed enter, and about 6 stories down, there's a link to a game that's called Zuma's Revenge. Do you think that's a coincidence?
No. What? I tell you what is a coincidence.
That's all I'm saying.
When you're trying to research Zuma, of course, you've got a lot of President Zuma.
South Africa, Jacob Zuma.
Yeah, Jacob Zuma, and he's in all sorts of trouble as well. So it's a bit bizarre.
He is.
But getting back to the weirdness, of course, a lot of SpaceX detractors, i.e. people with shares in all the big companies like Boeing, etc., they have been not slow in sticking in the knife in SpaceX, saying, well, we can't trust them to do this, we can't trust them to do that. And it's just like, well, hang on a second. All of SpaceX's customers have got complete faith in SpaceX. SES, for example, they tweeted, looking forward to GovSat launch this month. Our engineering staff have reviewed all the relevant launch vehicle data following last Falcon 9 launch. We are confident on SpaceX readiness and set for GovSat 2.1 launch. So all the customers know that SpaceX wasn't at fault and are certainly completely happy with going up on a Falcon. But yeah, I mean, there's been no horrible articles written which are just basically slating SpaceX with absolutely no real kind of hard evidence or proper thought at all. And then NASA got grilled at a well, not just NASA, everyone got grilled at a House committee thing for one of those space subcommittees. And this one was about NASA's commercial crew, and they were sort of saying, well, if this SpaceX is unreliable, what would happen if crew had been on board? And Gerstenmaier had to sort of say, well, hang on a second, that as far as we know, there's been no mishap. We haven't been told that there's a mishap. And, and then Koningsman, who's one of the SpaceX people, said, Falcon 9 performed as specified. That's like,
Matt, has our mate Elon mentioned this at all?
No, only.
Has he given any statement?
Not really. I think his only sort of comments are that launch is going ahead as planned.
Yeah,
And he plans to do 30 launches this year, which is absolutely incredible, isn't it? So and there's no reason why he shouldn't. There is a bit
absolutely. Keep up the good work, Elon. We think you did all right. Drink.
Yeah, drink. It looks like that. Everyone's. They're just so willing to get in and start like punching him when it's clearly, as far as I can see, not SpaceX's fault. The weird thing about it is, it's going to definitely end in some kind of massive fist fight, really, between Northrop Grumman and SpaceX. Someone must have been to blame. That's if Zuma failed at all. I mean. Can you imagine, really, if you've got this super secret satellite, why not spin a story so ridiculous?
That is good, Matt. I hadn't thought about that. Do you reckon that could be it?
Well, that could be it, couldn't it? I mean, let's face it. No one knows whether Zuma died or not. We actually just don't know. There's some brilliant pictures of the upper stage re-entering the atmosphere and venting fuel that was taken by a Dutch
I might try
pilot.
And track it.
Well, yeah, I mean, there are astronomers who can spot satellites through their telescopes. At the moment, you won't be able to, I think, because it's in the wrong kind of orbit to be sort of lit up by the sun. But in a few weeks' time, it should come back round. That's if it stays in the same orbit. Of course, it could be a stealth. It might be a satellite checking out stealth technology, which would make total sense because then it's like you don't know if it's up there or not. And you also can't find it. There'd be no point testing stealth technology if everyone knew where it was.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Well,
God, what a story, man.
Yeah, it is. It's intriguing, isn't it? I mean, I think it probably annoys a lot of serious journalists because, I mean, you would have thought it's just...
What do they write about?
Well, but it's intriguing to say the least. So
it really is.
I wonder if we'll ever know what happened to Zuma.
I want to ring our mate Marcus Allen and ask him what he thinks.
He'll definitely have a good explanation.
What do you reckon he'll say?
Oh, man. Oh,
so whoa, what do you expect?
Well, you make a good point.
Yeah, well, that's a good point. Oh, brilliant. So, I miss him.
Tied in with this, our last week's guest, Eric Berger, wrote a brilliant piece recently about the delays in NASA's Commercial Crew program, which looked like it's just embarrassing, I think. So the US House Subcommittee on Space was undercut release of a report on Wednesday by the US Government Accountability Office. So Christina Chaplin told Congress during the same hearing that she anticipated the certification dates would be much later for SpaceX operational flights to the station, when unlikely before December 2019. And Boeing unlikely before February 2020. And that's a nightmare for NASA because they only are able to buy seats on Soyuz near the middle of 2019. So it's kind of, well, hang on a second, we might not be able to get astronauts to and from the International Space Station anymore. So it's a...
Eek.
Yeah, it says there's a Texas Republican, Brian Babin, said both companies are making progress, but certainly not at the rate that was expected and not without significant challenges to safety and reliability. In order to remedy these problems, NASA may seek additional funding or accept significant risks. Neither of these options are viable. I know, and that is, that's bad, isn't it? And one of the reasons why these things have happened is because the contractors. This is what someone said in this subcommittee was the contractors are aggressive and use their scheduled dates to motivate their teams, while NASA adds additional schedule margin for testing. Both contractors assume an efficiency factor in getting to the crewed flight test that NASA does not factor into its analysis. So basically, it's saying NASA only will certify things that have gone slowly and carefully, whereas NASA and Boeing both work fast and fail fast. That's the problem. Wow.
It's just... I just want to bang their heads together, Matt. That's all I want to do.
Yeah, just it's bad.
Just get it
2020.
Together, yeah?
Oh, my God. Yeah, that's really bad. If that is true, which in my blood, in my bones, I know it to be true, that we're not going to see...
don't you?
Manned crew on either of those vehicles this year, which is a bit going.
Yeah. Well, there's always next.
What else in the news?
Well, Matt, what about the crater?
Ooh,
Neukum, named after Mars Express founder.
Yeah,
a fascinating Martian crater has been chosen to honour the German physicist and planetary scientist Gerhard Neukum. Matt, is it actually pronounced Neukum?
I hope so. I would imagine being German, it'd be Neukum or Neukum.
Probably would be Neu, wouldn't it?
Neukum, yeah, like Neutric.
Neukum, yeah.
Yeah.
Or Neukum's more fun,
I like Neukum.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. What do you do when you spot Martians?
Neukum.
Good.
How was that crater made on Mars? Neukum. No, that didn't work. Never mind.
That doesn't work.
So,
Matt, what's happening on the space station?
Space station. So we've got a couple of spacewalks to look forward to this month on January the 23rd and 29th. So we're already starting to get used to these names, aren't we? So we've got the flight engineer Mark van der Heij of NASA. He's going to lead both excursions. On the first one, he's going to be joined by your favourite space astronaut, Scott Tingle.
It's Mr. Tingle.
And then we get, on the 29th, will be Kanai, the astronaut that grew loads and then shrunk back down. So hopefully his spacesuit will fit, depending on how tall he is that day.
We've sent him some special socks.
So it's been a good week for the Japanese Space Agency because they just launched an Epsilon rocket, and I don't know if you saw my pictures that I found.
I did.
The Epsilon launch is one of my favourite pictures of a launch ever. It's absolutely amazing.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, that
ridiculous.
Is really, really cool. So I like the Japanese.
Check it out.
And I noticed a story on the Planetary Society. Of someone who's been processing data from the Akatsuki satellite that's been going around Venus, and the pictures of Venus are incredible from it. They've done some really,
I haven't seen those yet. I need to see them. Oh,
it's beautiful, and so this was a mission that almost failed. Akatsuki failed to get into orbit around Venus because of a thruster problem, I think, and it didn't get into orbit like it was supposed to in 2010, and it had to do these crazy manoeuvres around the sun, and came back and managed to get into orbit in 2015, but like this really crazy elongated orbit. So the mission's going to take loads longer than they planned, but it looks like it's going to get most of the science that they planned, which is a testament to how brilliant the scientists are over in Japan. Fantastic.
That's great, isn't it?
Yeah,
They're getting there in the end.
Yeah, so the Akatsuki mission is one that you don't really hear about very often, but it's blooming brilliant. That's all I know.
It really is.
Yeah.
I tell you what, Matt, we should try and get an interview with one of them.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be brilliant, actually.
I'm going to make that my personal
You
mission.
make that your personal, because you've got, you've got quite a few
orbit
Japanese
around the
connections, haven't
net.
you? Yeah.
And I'm going to ask my colleagues to help, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant. Another interesting thing this week was the thick sheets of water ice found buried under Mars' surface.
Now, this floats my boat. Excuse the pun. Carry on, Matt.
Yeah, so I think High Rise has taken pictures of an area of Mars where you can see the ice shelf protruding out of one of these kind of cliff faces.
Love that.
And yeah, so that it looks like there's loads more water on Mars than first anticipated. I mean, if it's like that all around, because that's at a kind of latitude of similar to Scotland would be on Earth.
Yeah.
So it's it's really interesting that could be major news, especially for Mars exploration and habitation.
Well, they could go for 1 litre instead of half-litre slush puppies, couldn't they?
Now, I tell you what's a very intriguing and breaking story right now.
Go on.
NASA has just announced the crew assignments for the space station mission. So I know we covered this with what's going to happen in 2018 and the crewed flights. Now, here's a very odd one. Jeanette Epps, who would have been the first African-American astronaut to live as a crew member aboard the International Space Station, and only the third African-American woman to have flown to space, she's just been reassigned. So she in a matter of months would have flown up on Expedition 58, but she's been reassigned. Oh no, on 56, but she's been reassigned. So she won't be flying this year, and she's just been. So she's got to go back to the astronaut office and resume duties there, and she may be considered for future missions. So she's been.
That's a shame.
Yeah, so she's been reassigned. So Serena Anund Chancellor has been put in her place, and Anne McLean, who was part of the 2013 astronaut class, so a real rookie, has been put in the place, has swapped with Serena.
Oh.
So they've had to do a little bit of juggling because they've recalled Jeanette Epps. Now, it would be really interesting to see the reasons why. Now, they don't often say, but I should imagine that the reasons will get out. And the rumour mill is that it's not particularly nice. It's not particularly nice reasons.
Oh.
So you can draw your own conclusions from that. Let's not draw any.
Oh, God, I hope that's not true. Let's wait till we get the facts.
Yeah, let's wait till we get the facts. But that's definitely one to watch, and it's certainly intriguing.
Absolutely. Well, to be continued. Matt, what's happening in the world of launches this week?
I tell you what, we just missed out on the 12th of January, the ISRO, after we'd recorded our podcast, they launched India's 100th satellite and 29 others.
Whoa.
But it included Carbonite 2, which was from Surrey Satellite, so built just around the corner from where I work, and that was the Earth Eye, British company that is launching sort of 4K cameras into space on these very small satellites for very high resolution imagery on Earth. So I think it's the first 4K camera in space, the Earth Eye. So they, these are little tiny things. Anyway, so there was two satellites from Surrey Satellites. There was the Carbonite 2 and the Telesat LEO Phase 1 satellite.
Nice.
Last night there was a scrub of the Atlas 5, which actually might mean that there's even more delays on Falcon Heavy, and also there's a government shutdown that's looming. So that actually might mean that they can't operate from there until that government shutdown finishes. So that might delay all space launches from there.
I feel like we need some good news to just. Let's leave it on the up.
On the up, we should see Rocket Lab testing the Electron.
There we go.
And that'll be fun.
We're back.
And Ariane 5, it's Ariane 5 launching some United Arab Emirates satellite and a Luxembourg comm satellite, which will have the NASA Gold Explorer experiment on. So you can look that up, because that's quite exciting.
I'm definitely going to look that up.
It's a NASA experiment that's been kind of integrated with a Luxembourg comm satellite.
Wow.
Yeah, do a little bit of research. That's your homework, listeners, for the week. Anything? Have you got anything else to say, Jamie, or do you need to check out of your hotel?
Yeah, I need to check out pretty soon. So I just want to let everyone know that if you're having a breakfast buffet, just sit down and watch the people around you, because it's really weird. It's a really weird gathering, isn't it, Matt? We discussed this earlier.
It's pretty mental.
It's just really strange. Makes me feel weird. Everyone's very quiet and like with bedhead, you know.
Oh, I tell you what happened last night, by the way.
Go on, what happened?
There was a Long March 11 rocket launch that was the 100th launch from the Jinhuan Satellite Launch Center in the Gansu province.
Whoa.
The 100th launch.
100th?
Since 1958.
Go on, China.
Let's hear a space fact.
Go on, then.
Neutron stars can spin at a rate of 600 rotations per second.
That's quick, isn't it?
That's like something the size of London spinning 600 times a second.
Matt, how many spins do you think you could do a second?
Well, when I was a professional ice skater, I used to be able to do that thing where you
could do
spin
a
really,
20
really
or 30, couldn't you?
20 or 30, yeah.
Yeah.
And I would spit out jets in both directions.
Do you still wear those latex outfits?
Along my polar axis. Yeah, I've still got... Well, you know I do. I do the podcast in them.
Oh, God.
That's how I gear up for the podcast.
Oh, I feel a bit queasy. I'm going to have to go.
Before you go, remember, you can take part in the Interplanetary podcast.
Oh, can you ever?
You can go to our Patreon page, for one, and actually be a patron of the podcast.
What?
Or, if you don't feel like doing that, this podcast does take us ages. I know it sounds pretty flippant, but it's hard work. But if, you might just want to go to iTunes and leave us a lovely review.
Oh, I'd love
that. Both
that.
are equally lovely. Also, don't forget to write in some of your favourite songs, or if there's something that you want us to cover in terms of, I really want to learn about this, just let us know and we'll do it. We'll do it.
Matt, let me ask you
this.
this.
We'll even get a space expert in.
Let me ask you this. Is the Interplanetary podcast on any social media?
It is on social media. You can find us on Twitter. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Pinterest if you must.
We are so street.
Streeter than street.
All right, guys. Well, listen, it's been emotional. You have a good week and take care of yourself, please. Yeah?
And don't forget to check out our playlist and listen to some space songs.
Oh, yes.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Space Podcats.
Ta-ta.
Ta-ta. Bye-bye.
Bye.
The Interplanetary Podcast, putting the ace back into space.